culture, would it caught the same backlash as John Morant? I mean, I think that's a fair question, and like, I got a bigger argument to make about the John Morant being racially motivated, but that's
JJ, you on mute.
Yeah, you on mute, my brother.
Hey, uh, I want to welcome all of our. I want to welcome all of our watchers, and welcome Rocky Miller to the stage. Um, Rocky and I had a busy day today. Public enemy number one.
Oh yeah, on
um,
on several fronts, but
uh,
I'm all right with
I
it.
think he like. I think he liked the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start calling him Kevin
Smokey
Samuels.
the Bear.
But Rock, what you think about this John Morant situation, man?
All right. So after a whole day of pondering and discussing this, I want to start off by saying I don't consider what he did was smart. I don't consider what he did was appropriate, right? But what he did, in my opinion, was not criminal, right? And certainly doesn't deserve to be punished by the NBA or his team. You see, he wasn't at work, he wasn't doing NBA business. And in a society where guns are largely celebrated, and we have large, powerful political organizations that exist to protect the rights of guns, I don't think him possessing a gun on video in a vehicle should be treated as criminal behavior. And just because he was black doesn't make his gun ownership or gun possession any more dangerous than anybody else in society. But I think, in my opinion, that's what's happening. The gun ownership of a young black man is created as criminal in nature, even when a crime was not committed.
All right, so this is my thing, and the reason why I didn't, you know what I'm saying, jump into the whole debacle today is because I wanted to wait until the show. Um, for me, man, I think race plays a little bit into it, um, but at the same time, it's it's racially charged from his perspective. Because if you give a Negro $200 and some million and he's 20 some years old, he don't know how to act. Let's let's really look at it from this perspective. When you got a young man that young making all that money, who gonna check him? Who gonna check him? Who gonna tell him to sit his ass down? Who gonna say, hey, Ja, I mean, bro, you need to chill out.
But,
I don't.
but
I don't think anybody could check him, JJ.
what,
They say, they had this term where they labeled a person who is financially uh special of the whole group. They labeled them the bag, and I don't think anybody could check them. You know what I mean? Not at least not at this point at all.
Hey, and DW.
but we have to understand that where he made it to takes a significant level. Right? So I don't want to go under the. I don't want to. I don't want us to gloss over the fact that he has to have people who are influential in his life, right? And those people somehow have to impress upon him how important it is for him to behave in a certain way, not only to protect his wealth, right? But we all know that at the end of the day, it's just if you go out there and live a certain lifestyle, you put your family in jeopardy, you put yourself in jeopardy, and you become a target. So again, there's nothing wrong with him having a gun, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with him having a gun. But
Why you keep saying that the problem is him having a gun? Why you keep making that such an
because I
argument?
think that's all he did was possess a gun. I don't think
No,
he did anything more than that.
but Rock, it's different when you got a gun and you listen to rap music, dancing on a car. You know what I'm saying? Doing it right here, bro. The image that puts out makes a lot of young athletes that are rich a target, because I think you finna start seeing a bunch of uh, you're gonna start seeing a bunch of situations where young rich athletes are about to be put on blast because this dude is being the forefront for all this right here. You know what I'm saying?
And what JJ, I think we just gotta admit that we're a violent culture. You know what I mean? We're a very violent culture. We were talking about Gilbert Arenas taking a gun to the locker room because he was being threatened by another player that he supposedly owed bet money from. We're just a violent culture in which guns are usually used to handle our disputes. And I think that's just what I mean, to say he wasn't participating in his culture, I think would be a stretch. I think that he was being a clear representative of his culture,
Hey,
of our culture.
and DW brought up the fact that they call him Dumb Boy NBA. Oh no, NBA Dumb Boy. Um, the reason why they called him that is because NBA Young Boy has lived this life. He has lived this type of lifestyle. This is what he rap about. Ja Morant plays sports. We just can't sit here and say uh, that the excuse is it's our culture. We gotta look at the fact that this dude is rich, bro. This dude is rich. So once and then Rock brought up the fact that he played sports and he had to have some level of discipline. No,
I don't
he
think
did
he
what he
did.
enjoyed. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think he did what he enjoyed, but when that bank account when he seen those zeros that him and his family has never seen before, it turned him into another person. And see,
I,
and this person that he turned into feels untouchable. You
JJ,
see
it
what
turned
I'm
him into the person that he always wanted to be. That's what
saying?
it turned
Exactly.
him into. you know
Exactly.
and Rock speak of his discipline and everything that got him to this point. Let's be honest, we done had kids go through the AAU and go through high school basketball. We're the ones who's making sure they at their practices. We're the ones who are making sure that they're at their games. We're the ones who are telling them to practice. All the way up to college, we're the ones who are on their back, making sure that they are at where they had to be, coupled by coaches and other people in the community. You know what I mean? John Morant is now free. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to wake up in the morning because his daddy tap him. He doesn't have to listen to be at practice when his coach tell him to, like he doesn't. He's no longer under the confinement of his parents or coaches or anybody else, and he has enough money to tell people to, hey, y'all need to leave me the hell alone. I'm living my life, and I think John Morant being exactly who he wants to be.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this, and I said it in the room today. I think y'all not even looking at some stuff. Once Ja Morant got to the league, signed that contract extension, got that deal from Nike, you are no longer Ja Morant, the individual. You are now Ja Morant, the brand. So no matter if he playing basketball or not, wherever he go at in this world, he's Ja Morant. And people kept saying, oh, he can do whatever he want. He can. And this is my point. You still represent the Memphis Grizzlies. You still represent the NBA. It don't matter if you playing or not. You still represent that. You still represent your brand, Ja Morant. So when you out here doing this wild and crazy stuff because you think it's cool or whatever the case may be, bro, you got people looking at you crazy now. These white folks out here buying your shoes, buying your jerseys. They coming to the game to see you. So if you keep doing wild stuff, now you're not even playing. They don't even want to go to the games. Now they not buying your you know what I'm saying, your jerseys or your shoes. It's bigger than it, bro. It's really bigger than this stuff we talking about right here, to be honest with you. It's bigger than him waving that gun, because at the end of the day, he is the bag. Somebody in that camp gotta be smart enough to be like, hey, bro, you can't be doing this. And we keep bypassing the fact that he already done got in trouble with guns at least twice. At least twice, bro. Got suspended for 8 games, right? Was able to come back. They made the playoffs. Cool. You done apologize to the commissioner, the league, and everybody else. I'm sorry, whatever the case may be. And 2 months later, bro, another video come out with the gun. So my thing is, you got to pick a side. You either going to be a gangster or you going to play basketball. You can't do both. You can't do both, bro.
I think he kind of like is doing both. Like, I think Ja Morant
can't do both, Brent. You gotta sacrifice one for the other. Like, if you want to be a gangster, you got enough money that you good. So if you want to be a gangster, retire from the league and be a street nigga. Right. If you want to play basketball, bro, you got to put the street stuff to the side, or at least don't get caught on camera with it. And who? That's it. It's that simple.
I just think we're measuring Ja Morant by our standards. We see the opportunity he has.
Common sense, though, Brent.
I mean, common sense to you. You know what I mean? We I'm just saying, we're judging Ja Morant by our expectations.
I just feel like y'all giving too many excuses for this young man. Like,
ain't no damn excuse.
Nobody holding this man accountable. Everybody blaming his parents and this, that, and the third.
Who blamed his parents?
But listen. We talking about in the room today. Did people not blame his parents and say his daddy need to do? I'm not. Brent. Did people not blame his parents? Yeah. So at the end of the day, nobody in the room today, or even right now in this conversation, held Ja Morant accountable for his. Because listen, he's still a man at the end of the day. You still got to make your own decisions, regardless of how you grew up or whatnot. You still have to make your own decisions. And nobody holds this man accountable for what he doing. That's everybody giving up excuses. Oh, he's 23. That. Like, come on, man. Like,
I'm trying to understand where he's at, and I think I'm kind of like understanding it. And what I'm saying, no one's making excuses for him. What I'm saying, Ja Morant is looking at people saying, "I don't give a damn if you see me as the bag." You know what I mean? I don't give a damn if y'all, if y'all holding me up on a pedestal. I don't give a damn if what your expectation of me might be. You know what I mean? That's what Ja Morant is saying through his actions. I don't give a damn how y'all see me. You know what I mean? Some people get money so they could be exactly who they want to be. You know what I mean? That you call it freedom. You know what I mean? I could be exactly who I am, and that's not making an excuse for him. That's explaining his mindset as it is today. And I'm look, I don't know Ja Morant. He could feel totally different than what I'm saying. I'm just judging it by his actions. You know what I mean? He's saying to the league, he's saying to everybody around, I don't give a damn what y'all think I should be doing. This is what I'm gonna be doing. But, you either accept it or not.
But Brent, why play? So why play NBA basketball? Because even though these dudes don't want to be role models, and I heard Charles Barkley say, I'm not a role model. Well, bro, you don't gotta want to be a role model. That comes with the territory. Kids be looking up to these players, bro. Like, let's keep it a buck. We got to be realistic about this. Regardless, if I went to the NBA, I wouldn't want to be want to be a role model either. But that comes with the territory when you the superstar of the team. People are you the one putting butts in the seats. You the one why people getting season tickets to the game. It's a big responsibility. And if you can't handle it, bro, you got to be man enough to be like, yo, I can't do this shit and step
And,
away.
and all I'm saying, Drewski, you putting your expectations on him.
That's not an expectation, bro. That's just the reality of the situation. I
Ja
don't have
Morant.
no expectation for Ja Morant because I don't know Ja Morant.
They're-
But what
they're-
I'm telling
they're-
you is, so Brent, you telling me if that was your son, you would let him out here doing this stuff?
I mean,
You wouldn't say nothing to your son, regardless if he got $200 million. You wouldn't sit your son down man to man and have a conversation with him about what he's doing.
You know, I could hope to have some influence over my son in that matter. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they wrote the check in my son's name. They didn't write the check in my name.
But that's
you know
still
what I
your
mean?
son. So like this is your son. This is your son. This ain't no random person. This is your child that you helped bring into this world that you raised. So you mean to tell me I don't care what team gave him money, to do, I gotta have a conversation with my son because at the end of the day, my son is my legacy as a man.
What I'm saying, Drewski, what you expect him to do? Tie him to his bed or something?
Listen, Brent, it ain't about tying nobody tonight. It's about having a conversation, a real man-to-man conversation.
Having this conversation with him? It's all over the news. Everybody's having this conversation with him. Everywhere he look, he looking everywhere he looks. He looking at somebody talking about his actions. How stupid his actions is. And I'm saying through his actions, he's saying I don't give a crap. You know what I mean?
I agree with both of y'all. But Brent, you said something about he could do both. What you meant by that?
JJ, there's people who sign a sign-on bonus to their job and stay there for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? There's people who win the lottery and never go back to work. You know, if you tell a man, hey, sign this contract, we're gonna deposit $60 million into your account tomorrow, he probably say, hey, I'm good. You know what I mean? I give a damn about my production after this point. You know what I mean? Like you're talking to a 23-year-old kid with $40-50 million in his account.
So I got a question for you. So if that's the case, then why he went to rehab?
JJ, you know, I think a part of him is still trying to live up to the expectations of the people around.
Well, hold on now. You said one thing, and so now I'm questioning if you feel like this is what it is and what he want to be.
Yeah.
Then
I don't think it's all black and white. I don't think it's all black and white, JJ.
But this is what I'm saying. Why did he go through the steps to get back into the league just to do it again?
JJ, I don't think it's as black and white as you're making it. You know what I mean? I think a part of him probably do want to make
I'm not making it black and white.
Well, I think I think a part of him probably do want to make the people around him proud. But his ultimate inspiration, he would much rather be driving around town with his friends, you know, smoking gelato, you know what I mean, listen to NBA Youngboy, then he probably would be in a gym.
So you
know what I mean?
Brent, you just proved my point. You can't do both, bro. You can't do both. You either gonna do one or the other. Hold up. If he's inspiring to smoke gelato and ride around with his friends and tote guns and do all this stuff on live, you can't do both because the league not gonna allow you to do that. So you can't do both. You either do one or the other. You gotta make a sacrifice.
And all I'm gonna say, Drewski, is he's that kid at home. Hey, did you fill out an application today? Yeah, I filled out an application. You know what I mean? And he's still hanging out with his friends in the day, you know, at nighttime doing what he want to do. And he's like, yeah, every day you following up. If you got an adult kid, you kind of know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to get them on the straight path. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of motivation, a lot of influence, you know, a lot of them bumping their heads or whatever the case may be. And eventually they get it right. You know what I mean? I think Ja is that in a place. Yeah, he probably look for the approval of his parents. You know, he probably trying to follow their advice, but he also trying to do his own thing at the same time. You know what I mean? And those two are in conflict, Drew. I do agree with you there.
So let's not act like there hasn't been a documentary about a player who lived in both worlds, is ridiculed while he was in both worlds. He is ultimately celebrated as one of the real ones, the realest ones that ever played in the NBA. And I'm talking about none other than Allen Bubba Chuck Iverson. He is celebrated for being able to live in both worlds, be respected as an NBA legend, and also be lauded in the streets as a person who they feel represented them. I
But
think ultimately that's what Ja is aspiring to do. He may not be as lucky as AI was in being able to do it. And it looks like he's willing to take the risk in order to do it. My
I got a
point in
question about
this
that though, Rob.
situation, my
I
point
got
in
a
this
question about
situation,
that.
go ahead.
AI was being AI. He he adopted his culture from his neighborhood and around his boys. Rappers wanted to be I. That's when all the rappers wanted to be ball players because of AI. Grant wants to be a rapper. No, no, no. A street dude. And you can't you can't compare those two because AI wasn't signing no 200 some $1 million contract. You
I
know what I'm
think in his
saying?
day, he was one of the highest paid players in the league
I
in his day.
I, I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is, rappers wanted to be like Allen Iverson.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that.
Allen Iverson, listen what I'm saying. Allen Iverson didn't want to be from the streets. He was raised that way.
But Jay, there's a whole
Am I right though, Rob?
Yeah, yeah.
there
Now, see, now we're going that. Hold up. Now, what we're going down the road of the authenticity of each person, does it justify one behavior or another? I wouldn't dare um try to cast Morant as inauthentic in his desire to be associated with street life, and because I don't know his credentials, I don't know his resume, for the lack of a better word, as it relates to the street or whatever. So I won't speak on that. But I
Hey,
know
hey,
that there are a
I'm gonna
lot.
just say this right quick. I'm just say this right quick. Before he came into the league, nobody knew nothing about this.
yeah. I
You're right. You're right.
Am I right?
I yeah.
AI, AI was in college, called Habit.
In high
His
school,
boy, him and his boy in high school causing havoc.
But JJ, it may be true that John Morant is not from the quote unquote hood projects. He's not from that side of the tracks. That may be true. You know what I mean? But I think there's a whole culture of kids who look at these rappers, these entertainers, and it allows them to get close to the danger without actually being in it. Ja is just one of those people who now he has enough money, he can surround himself with the environment of that. And because what I'm saying is there's kids who watching them, and like you say, the people on the block is trying to get off the block. They're trying to play ball and be AI and stuff like that. But there's people who watching them who are wanting to be them. You know what I mean? Like wanting to be in that type of danger, and it's exciting and stuff like that. I think that's what the kids are. What's inspiring them. They want to be close to that danger.
this is the mistake that John Moran is making, right? And this is, I think, the mistake that Tupac made and Biggie made in that is that you can live a celebrity lifestyle and also be a street dude and avoid the danger or the risk. Tupac wasn't able to do it. Biggie wasn't able to do it. And there's no guarantee that John Morant will be able to do it.
But
And
but
that's
but you
really
proving
what
a
I
point.
think is the issue. Was that?
You proving a point that you can't be both.
What I'm saying is, but there are a lot of okay. So also though, there's a lot of guys who appear to do both, right? Like again, let's go back to one of the most famous rappers. Jay-Z appeared to have both credibility in the boardroom and credibility in the street, right? There are a lot of guys who appear to have both. Whether they operate in both, I don't know. But they appear to have both. And I think that's what our young people, even young men of my generation, right? Of my generation, we went to school, we went to college, but we wore the same sweatsuits and sneakers, Cortezes as the dope dealers because we
Yeah, but
wanted to look and feel that level of respect in the neighborhood. We wanted to have that starter kit and wear that gold. I think it's something that I don't know what it is, right?
It's called the imposter syndrome, Rock.
But
That's what
there's a
it's actually
certain
called.
that the hood life is glamorized to the point to where no people who have a real connection with hood life other than their color and their culture want to connect or be part of that hood life for no other reason than to get the respect or the credibility.
that's
And I
true.
think that's a failure in our culture as a
That's true.
whole. Not
That's
just
And,
John Morant, not
and,
just John Morant,
and,
but our culture as a whole.
and Rock, it's called the imposter syndrome. And everybody watched the movie with Ti in it, the roller skate movie, ATL, I believe it was. And everybody seen Nunu sneak from her side of the tracks to over where Ti and them went to the skate ring at and hung out with them. She would change clothes and everything and hang out with them because she wanted to get a little of that. She wanted to be a part of something that wasn't her reality. You know what I mean? And I mean, I dare say that's where John Morant is probably at. He wants to be a part of something that that could be dangerous
But
for him, but it
but
just he
but when
appealed to
you
it.
with and again, let me say this. I'll say it again so we can stay in this vein. I don't believe what he did was criminal in nature, and I don't think he should be suffer punishment from the NBA if he didn't violate any agreement or any NBA rules, right? I'm gonna say that he shouldn't be punished if that's the case. I don't think he should be judged harshly because of the image that he portrayed in that video, which was a young black man with a gun. Because those images, whether we want to say it out loud or not, those images are propagated all over the news every night as young black men being dangerous and deadly.
I
And when
I
you put
I got a question about that, Rob.
okay,
So I totally understand what you're saying. So if what you're saying is true, then why did he have to go through what he went through the first time? And then
um,
so if if you're saying that he didn't do anything and he don't deserve this that, don't you think the first time when he got fined, when he got had to go to rehab, when he had to do all this stuff, don't you think that that was enough for him to see that there will be repercussions if this happens again?
yeah, if I'd have lost 10% of my salary, which for him, which was $1.2 million for him this year, uh, and I wouldn't have never wanted to touch a gun again in my life.
But but see,
That's just
Rock,
me.
but see, Rock, you keep making it about the gun. We're talking about him getting on social media, dancing like a jackass. You know what I'm saying? And his friend filming it, and
I,
his
let,
friend had enough sense,
to put the
and his
camera on.
friend knew better. Rock, this is the thing. His friend knew better. His friend was like, "Oh shit, okay, so You telling me that what y'all are speaking on right now, if that already happened before, and he had to go through all these little, you know what I'm saying, situations, and he got suspended, all that stuff. Don't you think that like you you keep saying if there was any type of, you know what I'm saying, rules, any type of regulations, bro, you know it was a rule and regulation because he already went through it all already
Well,
once.
I think that situation was somewhat different than this
How?
latest situation.
What's the
So
difference?
so this latest situation, he wasn't traveling with the team as he was in the previous situation. He wasn't traveling with the team. He was
He was in
not.
a strip club, bro.
Again, no, but he was on company. He was traveling for company business on a road trip.
I don't think that had nothing to do with
I mean,
him
no,
being
that's
fine.
that's that's written. Me and Drewski went over it this morning. Like that's written into the CBA
Okay,
that while they're traveling on NBA business, they can't be in possession of a firearm.
okay,
Right?
so
They can't.
okay, okay, so if I went through all that, regardless of what the situation was, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that I will be on Instagram doing all this stuff, bro?
Hey, hey,
I'm
I
just
want
getting
to
back.
I want to shout out my mama right quick. My mom put in there, and that's Willie
Oh,
Louise
hey,
B.
Mama
Rao Miller.
Miller, I gotta
Yeah,
talk to you
yeah,
about your
yeah. That's
son.
my mama right there.
No,
And he say he need help. And
I gotta
I
talk to you
think
about your son, Mama Miller, because boy, it's a lot.
hey,
It's
I
a
want
lot
to
I
say
need to
something that
tell
my
you.
mom often says sometimes, and this is something she drilled into all of our heads growing up, right? And this is the problem that John Morant has. He's behaving low class. Like that's what he's doing. He's behaving with no class. And so his affinity with doing ghetto stuff and having ghetto behavior is what's got him in this situation. He has a he has an attraction to it. He has an
Absolutely.
affinity for it that
Absolutely.
has him risking not only his career, but in my opinion, his safety.
And,
Because he's
and-
obviously, you know, from what I've
absolutely.
heard by people
You done
who
changed your
are
whole little
in
you done
Memphis.
changed your whole little thing now. Now that Mama Miller done came
No,
on.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is, he.
We've been
I
talking about
didn't
this
say
whole
he need to change, and I said this earlier. He needs to change for his own good. It shouldn't be something that he should be punished by the NBA because he has a right to own a gun. He has a right to possess a gun in Tennessee. It shouldn't be because of the NBA. His inner circle and his community should impress upon him how important it is for not him not to possess a gun.
And, and,
but
and,
who gonna
and,
check him though, Rock? The,
and Rock,
the only people that can check this dude is the people that pay him. That's the only people that can
good
check this
point.
dude
Good point.
is the people that
Good
pay him,
point.
Rock. Can't can't nobody that's making $13 an hour tell a man
Absolutely. Or
that,
ain't making nothing, JJ.
I'm probably looking at him, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like when the next time he gonna give me some money? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So the NBA has to be. You think it's okay for the NBA to be parental in their approach to governing John Morant and
I,
other NBA players?
absolutely. You know why? You know why? Because if they don't have some type of structure, discipline, or whatever the case may be, bro, these young men that are making this type of money will go ballistic, will go berserk. Hey, and they hold a certain standard in the community as leaders, as people that little kids look up to. That bro, and whatever that brand is for uh for the team that he plays for is what he got to go by. And if it's him getting on social media with a gun, bro, if they let him back in and say, dude, don't do this no more. you
He gonna probably do it again.
you represent us. You represent us. You represent what we stand for, regardless of what you think. If you need some type of security, we're paying you enough to hire you a shooter.
But
but
JJ, what
but
he did was in poor taste. They shouldn't go after his money, and they shouldn't prevent him from doing the job he was hired to do.
But
What he
but
did was
but
in poor taste. I just don't agree that if he didn't violate, see, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't violate some agreement that he had with the NBA, because he may have some type of agreement, there may be some type
but
of
Rock,
remediational program that he's going through that this may
none
have
of
violated. So I
yeah,
don't know that.
none of that's gonna work. But you Rock, I get where JJ and Drewski's coming from because somewhere when you employed by someone, you know what I mean, you start to calibrate what they expect from you. You know what I mean? And you live up to those expectations. You know, like JJ said, he got in trouble the last time. Why did he repeat it? You know, doing something very similar. You know what I mean? He should have known from the last time that hey, any little small infraction could be taken the wrong way. You know what I mean? But I think trying to explain John Morant's rationale is like trying to explain why a fish would be born with three titties. You know what I mean? It's like you're not gonna be able to like
Make
understand.
sense of
but
it.
you but
You're
but
not
you
gonna be able
can't.
to make sense of it.
But Brent, but you can sort of get some sense of it because it's not far fetched from what's going on with these rappers getting these big deals and still trying to live the street life. It's not it ain't a whole lot of difference, bro. It ain't a whole lot of difference when you see these rappers that's constantly going back and forth to prison, got all this talent, but can't leave that street life alone. The same way Soldier Boy, you know, he went through all his whole life, you know, doing the Soldier Boy dance, and now he started claiming bloods. Until they about to
He's a
jump
tough
on him.
guy.
You know what I'm saying? So then Chris Brown, he do all this other stuff, but now he want to be a blood. This what I'm saying. It you can you can sort of see what's going on. These dudes get this money and they become untouchable because they can pay people to be around them and to be yes men and to tell them that everything that they're doing is gangster because that's what they want. That's what they want in order to feel whole, feel successful, feel what I'm saying, like they have some type of power. And let's just be clear, bro. We can't sit up here and act like money doesn't motivate the gangster and people
Uh,
that ain't gangster.
but JJ, I think money turns us into who we want to be, and I bring up one case that we're probably all familiar with, and that's a guy named Aaron Hernandez who played for the New England Patriots. That guy dad was always in his life. He wasn't any type of gang banging athlete. He was very close to his dad and his brother. He had close relationships with them. He was like, and what I mean by he not gang banging, he was looked at as being a prospect all through high school, all through college. They knew this guy was going to big places, but
I agree.
he could not overcome that fascination with street life. And what was so unique to me about his case is when he was in prison and you could see him talking to his lawyers, talking to his girl. This dude didn't even seem like he was upset. He didn't even seem like he was like
You know why?
he
You know
didn't seem
why,
like
Brent?
he lost anything. He seemed like he was right where he wanted to be.
Brent, Aaron Hernandez killed two people when he was at Florida, right?
Yeah, I mean
He been
allegedly, yeah, but
Yeah,
he been, but
that's what I
Aaron
was
been
gonna
with the
say.
shits though. Like it ain't start when he got to the league. Aaron been
Yeah,
with the shits.
that's what I was
Like
gonna
he
say. He mentally, bro.
mentally,
That dude was already a loose wire, bro. You know what I'm saying? He just had a talent for football.
That's all it was.
And money didn't motivate him to be a killer. The dude was a killer a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So Aaron Hernandez went to prison. He felt he felt free.
Absolutely. And that's
He
what I'm
didn't have to live.
saying.
Hey,
That's all I'm
he,
saying.
he didn't.
Did he freeze or
Yeah, he froze. He froze.
Not. Did y'all hear what I
yeah,
said?
JJ, yeah,
No,
you froze
You
up.
was freezing
One,
up.
one,
I
one,
said,
one, one of
I said,
our viewers.
damn, Rob.
Yeah, you had froze, bro. You had broke up. That's why I
No,
was talking.
I was just gonna say, Aaron Hernandez went to prison. He became free. He
But what
became
I'm saying,
he became
JJ,
he was in the closet and all that stuff, bro. Once he got locked up, he became free.
and I know we know about the murders when he was in college, and you could say he was all about that life. But what I'm saying, Aaron Hernandez wasn't a guy who was from some Inglewood or 63rd Street. You know what I mean? Like he probably had that in him and he wanted to get it out. But you know how prospect athletes are treated through high school and college. They treat it like royalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He wasn't hurting for nothing.
he grew up in the mean streets of Connecticut. You know, we have a viewer that says, "How is it racial?" Okay, so and I just wanted to briefly explain this: is that my in my opinion, the image of young black men with guns are considered a dangerous and very threatening image, even when they're not associated with criminality. Like the young black men are often shown with guns who are involved in criminality, right? But there are a lot of young men, people who are very close to me, that love guns. They love guns and they love possessing guns and shooting guns and they go to the range and all these things. But you see so often how the image, anytime a young black man or a black man is in possession of a gun, it's assumed to be criminal in nature or violation of some some kind of crime, or it's an inherently threatening image. And because of that, I believe the NBA is so image conscious that they have a guy who is legally possessing a gun in a car, singing to music. They want to punish him even when he is in legal possession of a gun.
Brent, can I ask you a
And
question? I mean, Rob, can I ask you a
though it
question?
may be in poor taste and potentially and possibly inappropriate, it was not illegal. It was not a crime. He certainly had the right to own a gun in the state of Tennessee. Go ahead, Drewski.
So my question to you is, and I understand all that, and that's fine. Why play into the stereotype? Why would you,
Because I
if
think
you, if you know, right? You got to think about not only just this incident. Think about stuff that people see on TV, right? Think about the stuff that black people go through on a daily basis, right? When it comes to us being associated with guns. Think about the music. You got to think about all that, the quote unquote culture, right? Why would you play into that stereotype? Because I know a lot of black men that have guns too, but they not going on their Instagram live waving their guns, doing all of this stuff. And my point today was this: if you got in trouble one time for this situation, the sacrifice, right? The small sacrifice is I don't want to be around nobody or nowhere with no guns. If I got my guns gonna be at home. They're not gonna be caught on camera with me with them and none of that. That's the small sacrifice that I feel like John Morant can make in this situation until the heat get off him. Because right now, homeboy got a whole bunch of heat on him, and this right here, he already had heat on them. Not to mention they lost in the first round of the playoffs, right? We talking business here too. They lost in the first round of the playoffs, right? And then a month after that, It's a video come out and you in a car with a gun up to your head and you waving it around like this, singing an NBA YoungBoy song. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. You could do whatever you want. I'm just saying, look at the optics. Is all I'm saying. It don't look good. It don't look good for the Grizzlies. It don't look good for the league, and it don't look good for Ja Morant brand because Ja Morant did. Listen, a lot of players in the NBA, everybody not getting a signature shoe, and everybody not getting a signature shoe from Nike. I'm just saying, maybe Brent is right. Maybe these are my expectations. Maybe I'm looking at it from this point of view. To me, it's just common sense that if I'm in the league and I'm not being a good old boy or slave mentality or whatever we talked about today. What I'm saying is I ain't never ever had $200 million in my life. And I'm not willing to throw that away for nothing, bro. This set my family up for generations of wealth. You see what I'm saying? Like it ain't it, like I said, Ja Morant now is a brand. It ain't just Ja Morant, the player that played in South Carolina, that went to the prep school, that went to a small school, that wasn't highly recruited, right? He was not highly recruited. He played two good, decent years in college and became a first round pick. And he developed and became better once he got in the league. He been in the league, what, 3, 4 years? You were able to sign a contract extension on your rookie deal that's netting you a lot of money. So it's a lot of factors, is all I'm saying. I could be wrong. It's a lot of factors that come into play with this. And whether he don't want to listen to nobody, Ja need to sit down with Ja. And Ja need to mature a little bit and grow up because you ain't just a regular 23-year-old kid that's out here doing this stuff. You are a face of a franchise, whether you want to be that or not. You are. It's just what it is. And so you got to look at those things and be like, what's more important to me? Is it more important that I hang out in the streets and be with these people? Or is it more important that I try to build a legacy within the NBA and one day become an NBA champion or MVP or win a scoring title? Because if those really not your goals, then you really, to me, honestly, you really just wasting your time. You might as well just say, "Hey, man, I done netted $100 million. I'm good. My mama good. My daddy good. My brother good. My sister good. My daughter good. I can live off this for a long time if I invest my money, and I don't gotta deal with the politics of basketball because we all know it's politics in the NBA. I just want us to look at it from that perspective because I agree with everything. I don't want nobody to think I'm disagreeing with none of y'all saying. I get it. Ja can be Ja if that's really him. If it's not him, it's kind of sad. But if that's really him, I get all that. But look at it from that perspective. You not just an NBA player, you also a businessman because you getting deals. You not only getting paid from the league, you getting paid from Nike to represent that brand, Gatorade or Powerade or whatever it is. Like you sign contracts to do a lot of deals, so all of that stuff comes into play. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Drew, I think right there is where I kind of disagree with you, and I kind of agree with Brent on. Now we put a level of expectation of what
But that is
he
the
could be. You
expectation,
know
though,
what I'm
JJ.
saying?
Like when you become an athlete,
Huh?
that is the whether you want to accept that expectation, that's the
But
expectation.
but I think what Brent is saying is he already reached his expectation.
Yeah, I
So
I think
so he got his money. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is why why come back after they suspended you? Why you just
Take the
didn't quit?
money that you got, roll, because it's guaranteed. It ain't like the NFL. It's guaranteed, bro. They gonna have to pay you. You leave, they gonna have to pay you, right? That's the contract. So take the money, and then you can do everything you want, and don't have to live up to the expectations of the Grizzlies and the NBA and fans. Because like I agree,
but,
I
but
agree,
but
I agree with
but
Brent. He
again,
don't want that through his actions. He don't want to be the face of the league. He don't want to be the face of the Grizzlies. Like he don't care about that.
uh,
You got the bag, so just say, "Hey, look, man, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go ahead and fall back."
but again, I think that he wants that though. I just I just feel like he just somebody with a whole bunch of money that feels untouchable.
Yeah.
I get
And
that too. I get that too.
I, I just feel like that. I mean, we can say no. You know, you got all the money. Won't you go do this? You got, bro. I think that money has manipulated this man's mindset to feel like he's untouchable. Because let's be honest, the dude probably got place. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna say something to him? Who gonna who gonna check him other than the people that pay him?
do y'all believe that John Morant is in love with basketball?
I
Or
think he is.
you think he's in love with basketball? I
To a
thought
certain
Kobe
extent.
Bryant was in love with
To
basketball.
a
I think
certain extent, I think
definitely think
God.
LeBron James is, but
Yeah.
I don't see that same passion from him. And like I said, the playoffs they got that they lost. That was my first time really taking a look at him, but he didn't seem like he was there. He seemed distracted. He seemed, like he just didn't want to be there. And I know we all dealt probably with a kid who we were making them go to football practice, making them do something. That kid was like, "Look, I don't want to do this." You know what I mean? Like that's what you want me to do. You know what I mean? And I just wonder if he's at his wits' end of like, you know what? I'm getting tired of these coaches. I'm
I
getting
think,
tired of these parents. I'm getting
but
tired of
Prince,
everybody telling me what I need to do.
but
Maybe I'm I'm
but
just
but but don't you think that some people get a certain stature in life and get lazy?
that could be it too, Jay. That could be it too.
I,
You know,
I say
They
that
get
today.
they get complacent. Some people aren't champions.
Yeah.
LeBron is a champion. Kobe is a champion. Jordan
right.
is a champion. They know they know who they are.
Right.
They ain't got to put that in the forefront of their physical ability and their athleticism.
Cause you get the
But
bag. You get the
but
bag based
you
off
got
of
some people
performance,
that
right?
you got people that are motivated by money,
Yeah.
and his money motivated him to be something that he's not, and nobody around him gonna check him on it
So you
because they gonna fear that he gonna cut him off.
so you feel like Ja did enough to get the bag and now he good with that? Cause you can relate that to some stories we heard with NFL players, like they work their ass off to get the bag, and once they get the bag, it's like the production fall off.
Right.
So it's like that's why I said earlier, like
I think he's young and want to be able to do what he want to do with that money. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to follow no rules. He don't want to, you know what I'm saying, like go to practice and be this dude like this and do this because he got so much money. He feel like, man, I got all this money. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got to listen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he loves the game. I think that he loves his job, but you put a 23, 24-year-old boy in a position where you know they were asking people for money. You know what I'm saying? A couple years ago, now they the richest man in their whole town. You know what I'm saying? What you think
but
gonna do?
that
What you
kind of
think?
prove that
What
kind
you
of
think
prove Brent
they gonna
point
do
though.
to them?
That kind of prove
Yeah.
Brent point because it's like he we can say he love the game, but he don't love the game that much to where that money don't affect him. LeBron is a billionaire. That money ain't never that man wanted chips. That man wanted to win. And Ja don't got that mentality. Kobe, them dudes done made so much money, bro, that LeBron came from nothing, bro. From Akron. He came from nothing. And that money did not change that man to where he was out here wilding and stuff. And I'm not saying Ja and LeBron are the same people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is LeBron, Kobe, D Rose, even my man in Portland, Dame Lillard. Them dudes love the game. They got bread, bro. They got enough bread, Bro, they got more bread than a lot of us will ever see in our lifetime. But they get out there every single night. Some of them be hurt out there, broke fingers, broke leg, pulled muscle, and go out there and battle each and every night to build a legacy for themselves in the NBA because they love the game so much. So I'm not disagreeing with you, JJ. I think Ja love the game, but I don't think he love it that much because if he did, that money would not have affected him in a way that it seemed like it has. We could be wrong, but it seems like that money, like you said, has made him feel I'm untouchable. Ain't shit. Listen, I got $200 million in the bank, bro. It ain't nothing y'all can tell me. It ain't nothing, bro. I can go in here. I can go in this Piggly Wiggly right now and slap this woman, and ain't shit nobody gonna say to me or do. I ain't gonna go to jail or none of that. Cause somebody gonna come sweep that shit on the rug. They might suspend me for like 10 games. I'm gonna be back and I can do whatever I want still. We've seen it with a bunch of sports people that are able to go out here and do crazy stuff and still be playing. The only person that I've seen recently that did something crazy and wasn't ever to play was Bridges from the Charlotte Hornets. And that was the domestic thing. And you know how they are with the domestic stuff, but with Ja, it's like we smacked him on the hand and say, Ja, all right, don't do that again. And Ja like, all right, PR team, like, look, say this. All right, I'm gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need help. I'm gonna go to counseling, this, that, and the third. And like Brent said, when he came back, it was like he was with the team, but his mind wasn't there. So is his mind, does that mean that his mind is gone now where he don't want to hoop no more? Or is that just because of everything that's going on? The media, you know what I'm saying? The suspension, trying to come back and go off in the playoffs. Is that what was going on with his mind?
Why we just can't say he's just an immature?
I mean that too. But I mean, when you talk about stuff like this, and this is like barbershop talk. When you talk about stuff like this, right? Everybody come from a different angle to make you kind of look at this thing from different point of views. Like somebody could say, "Oh, well, I'm looking at it from a job point of view. He's 23. He a little immature. He got a whole bunch of money. Like at 23, you probably be doing some of the stuff he doing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said the other day in the room, like I was like, bro, at 23, $200 million in the bank. I'm going to every city. Where the bitches at? Where the hoes at? Excuse my friends, but where the strip clubs at? I need some wings. Bring all. Matter of fact, I'm about to buy the whole bar out because I feel invincible. Ain't nothing you can tell me. Any chick walk past me, hey man, bring her to the hotel. Oh yeah, bring her too. You know what I'm saying? You gonna do dumb stuff like that. We get it, but I'm just saying. After the first time, it's like you would kind of think, hey, I might need to slow it down a little bit. Or somebody say, hey, bro, we need to chill out a little bit. But nobody's saying that. And I get it. But I think at this point right now with this, if he don't, I don't think he's gonna get kicked out of the league. I would be kind of surprised if he do. But I think at this point right now, somebody got to intervene and be like, hey, bro, this strike number 2. The next time this happen, bro, I don't think nobody in America gonna have no sympathy for you.
I don't think nobody got sympathy for him right now. I mean,
I think you're right, JJ. Nobody does have sympathy for him, and they are treating him as if he committed a crime when he just probably did something that they don't agree with or they feel is in poor taste. Again, I don't think the NBA is his parent. I think he's a grown man, and at the end of the day, they can convey that they don't like what he did, but I don't think he should be punished, and I certainly don't think he should lose his livelihood behind it.
But Rock, I mean, I think that angle is kind of shaky. I think John, when I watched it, I think John knew exactly what he was doing. You know what I mean? It wasn't no accident. It wasn't like his homeboy was probably looking out more for him than he was. I think John knew exactly. I just think, I think it takes a long time for a man to get that foolishness out of his spirit. You know what I mean? And I just think that's what Jai he is just foolish right now. And I think it ain't, maybe it take the NBA being stripped away. It is no longer his choice if he plays anymore. They're not gonna take him anymore. And now he gotta live off whatever he's done made. And yeah, I'm pretty sure at some point in time he was like, man, I wish I was still in the league. You know what I mean? I need another quick payday. You know what I
or
mean? And
or or Brent, he's gonna take that money that he made and buy more guns and end up getting his ass killed
yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah,
because you we we all don't want to say this, but we know how these type of stories turn out.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
I again, I just think I again, as much as I want to defend his right to own and possess a gun, the way that he's moving is, in my opinion, leading down a path. I must agree with you on that, JJ. Is moving down a path of destruction. I, you know, again, I don't like it. I don't necessarily, like the NBA parenting players. I think they should, set God. They're the employer. They have guidelines in which their players should operate within, and then the players should operate within those. But when you talk about judgment and things of that nature, that's something that their circle and their community should have influence on them. Because if the NBA can decide whether or not you own and possess a gun or where you possess it and all this kind of stuff, I just see, you know, that even going back to when they told Allen Iverson he couldn't wear ball caps, do rags, or oversized T-shirts. I think going back to that, they often step in a place when they do that to us to make us less of us, for the lack of a better word. And in this situation, though, it does involve a gun, which adds a bit of danger to the situation. But it can be addressed in a way where John Morant is dealt with in a manner that does not put him on the front of newspapers and websites and blogs looking like a criminal when he really didn't commit a crime. And that's what I really have issue with. He's treated as if he's committed a crime and he actually hasn't. He's
I,
actually just exercised his constitutional right, and they don't think he did it in an appropriate manner. That
I think on LeBron James Mount Rushmore, it might be Michael Jordan, damn Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think on John Morant's Mount Rushmore, probably be King Von, uh, NBA YoungBoy, and Kodak Black.
I agree.
Nah, that's
I
real.
agree.
That's real, man.
Hey, hey,
That's
hey man,
definitely real.
let's get some last minute comments, man, before we wrap this thing up. Uh, Drew, what you got, man?
Um, I mean, man, this was a great conversation. Some of the things we talked about, I didn't personally think about. Um, I I think at the end of the day, man, Ja got to sit with Ja. You know what I'm saying, and figure out what he want to do because, like Brent said, um, he he gonna do what he want to do, but he got to figure out what lane that is, bro. Like I just personally think that he can't do both. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay, like with the whole AI comparison. AI was himself, and he was able to blend in with these type of people, right? But he didn't have to do the extra stuff. Is all I'm saying. Ja can have 1,000 guns, but being being in the limelight the way he is, man, it's just whether he want to believe it or not, or any one of us, it's just frowned upon, bro. And I just think sometimes you can be like, you know what, I might not want to do this, but I am a hooper. You know what I'm saying? I do got a brand. I got to make sure my daughter's straight. So, hey, I just, you know what I'm saying, not even do this stuff to make sure, I'm good, my family good, whatever the case may be. So,
uh,
I hope if John need help, I don't know if he need help. If he need help, I hope he get the help he need. I hope they don't kick him out of the league because he is a phenomenal player, and I think he got room to grow to get better. I would like to see him in the league for another 10 years. So I wish that brother all the best. To be honest with you, bro, like no hate coming from me or anything like that. I just when you look at people like that, bro, in those type of positions, I think as a black man, I just want that dude to be his best, man. And that ain't got nothing to do with race or anything. That's just because we black, bro, and we already got two strikes against us. We black and we men. So it's like at the end of the day, man, I ain't telling you to be, a slave or nothing like that, but you in a different position that a lot of people wish they was in, and you just gotta kind of act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know what it is, man. Subscribe to the channel, click that bell for notifications, and follow us on all social media platforms at the Sex Cigar Lounge. Back to you, JJ.
What up, Rock? What you got, bro?
Yeah, man. I just want to say that Drewski made a great point. He is a young man. He does have room to grow, and I hope that he grows and matures into a man that understands the position and pedestal that he's put on, and that he is willing to accept the responsibility of the position that he's in. But I don't ever want it to be understated that black men are often put in a situation where our image is often criminalized even when we are not committing crimes. And though it may have been in poor taste, he has a right to possess a gun, and he has a right to have it in his vehicle. And in some cases, it may be appropriate to put it on uh, social media, because I see a lot of guys with guns on social media that are dressed in camouflage hats and pants, and they have dead carcasses of animals laying in front of them, and it seems like there's never a problem when those guns are displayed. But anytime a gun is being displayed by a young black man, it seems to be criminalized in some nature, even when there is a constitutional right called the Second Amendment that allows many of them to lawfully possess guns, man. Hey, make sure y'all follow the channel, hit like and subscribe. And it's always a pleasure, JJ, being on here, man. And I had a lot of fun tonight. And I look forward to the next
Hey, man. One thing, Rock, I was gonna say, I ain't never seen a white boy with a gun waving in the air, playing sports, listening to Nazi music. I ain't never seen that. But go ahead, Brent.
Yeah, man, great show, man. I think this was some good old barbershop talk. Man, it's hard for a young man coming up in our community with the influences that you have out there. And for any, as a young man, there was a time I needed to be punched in my chest. You know what I mean? As a young man coming up, I remember my grandma would pinch me on the back of the arm at church. You know what I mean? And my dad would just shake the spirit out my damn body. You know what I mean? And it was a point in time when my sons started hitting them teens where, they had to have that punch in the chest reality. You know what I mean? And I just think that's where maybe Ja's at right now. That's gonna be the only thing to get his attention. I don't know if y'all seen Snowfall when Jerome hit damn Franklin two times at that bar before he could even freaking move. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like that's the only thing that's gonna get his attention. You know what I mean? Besides that, Ja's the only one at the wheel right now. You know what I mean? He's the one who's driving this bus, and it's up to him where Mama can't want it for him, Daddy can't want it for him. Ja gotta want it. And he's the one driving the bus. And I hope for his family that he drive them into the right place. But it's all up to Ja. But man, follow Sexy Cigar Lounge on all social media platforms. We have interesting topics like this each and every day. Follow our clubhouse space, and it is back to you, JJ.
Hey, you made a good point about Jerome slapping Franklin twice like that, and I think at that point Jerome was trying to save Franklin's life. He was trying to tell him stop right now. Let's just, you know what I'm saying, take what we got and just move on. And Franklin didn't want to hear about that. Um, and that's a good point you made. You know, young men out here, man, making this type of money, bro. Can't nobody tell them nothing. You know what I'm saying? But they need a real OG that ain't scared of them and don't care nothing about his money to slap him 2 or 3 times in his face, quick as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? And dare him to hit her back. And that's what John Morant don't have around him, bro. And that's gonna be his downfall, man. So Brent, good analogy, cause it's either gonna be an OG slapping him twice, or the white man taking his money away, or he getting killed, being in the wrong place at the wrong time with some dudes that he don't know what they done to somebody and how they done it, and riding around with a gun in Memphis. Memphis ain't no joke, man. Them boys out there killing folks. So, hey, man, good show, man. I appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying, coming on. Of course, Rocky Miller, always a good time that you on. Shout out to Mrs. Miller. I hope you had an awesome Mother's Day, man. I tried to
Happy Mother's
refrain
Day.
from I tried to refrain from cussing after Rock done said his mama was in the building. So I appreciate you jumping on. And she said the motherly answer to this. She said the motherly answer to this question. He needs some help. Hey, that's about as motherly as you can get, bro.
Yep.
That summed it up, Miss Miller. He needs some help. Exactly. I appreciate everybody, man. Like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't watched Drunk Champs Friday night, please go back and watch that because it's hilarious. You hear me? All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace.